AITA for telling a lot of people a married coworker was hitting on me. I warned him I would. I work in tech and I'm one of 2 women in the office, and occasionally I've had coworkers shoot their shot. It's whatever, except it feels super awkward when they are married. Especially if I've met their wives. That secret always burns at me. I want nothing more than to tell their wives and get everything out in the open, but usually I'll never get a chance to talk to their wife without them there. I'm not that hot honestly. I feel like it's just a numbers thing. Like I'm literally the only single woman at the office, and so it's convenient. So I hope this doesn't come across as bragging. It's not something I'm proud of. Honestly, it's terrible. My way of dealing with married guys pushing boundaries has always been to be super straightforward about the fact that I tell my friends everything, and some of my best friends are people I work with. Basically being really obvious about the fact that I won't keep anyone's attempt at infidelity a secret. So, there is this manager at my office. Not my direct manager, but he has been helping me put together a community outreach program to get more girls interested in STEM. So I've talked to him frequently. He's married, his wife is a lawyer. I was getting kind of flirty vibes from him, but I wasn't certain. And then a few weeks ago, he was just being weirdly complimentary, like about my looks. He was asking if I was seeing anyone, and I was like, oh crap, there it is. So then when he asked if I would keep something between us, if he asked me it, I said I dunno. I'm a total open book with my friends. We talk about everything. Secrets kinda weigh on me, yeah no. He shut up then, and I thought it was resolved. But a few days later he was making comments about how I remind him of his first girlfriend. Yikes. So I told my 5 closest friends at work. And I sent an email to the HR lady, but unbeknownst to me, she was on a 2-week vacation and did not see it for a while. And he was feast at me, like calling me a gossip, a liar, saying I was acting like a teenage girl full of drama. I said I told you I'm not the type to keep secrets. I told you that I like to tell my friends things. What did you expect? He got mad, calling me even worse names. And for the next week and a half before the HR lady was back, it was stressful. AITA for doing exactly what I'd said and telling my friends he was being too flirty. NTA, you warned him and he didn't listen. Even if you didn't warn him, why is he flirting when he's a married man? He and the other men in your office had it coming. And he's part of the team doing community outreach to bring schoolgirls into their field. Duck no, this guy should be far, far away from anything like that with this behavior. I can't believe I missed that part. This doesn't sound like a very good job. NTA. He got your message loud and clear, and he still decided to push your boundaries, to try and call your bluff. Please record all your conversations with him going forward, for your HR and other legal purposes. If he decides to go the legal route against you, his wife is lawyer, he could try to tell her outrageous stories about you to show himself as the victim on whom the only girl in company jumped. Feel better OP. Edit. For people advising OP to go to other superiors instead of gossiping or telling them in point blank to stop. Remember, it's not always black and white and the situation is not always easy to tread through for X number of reasons. Be understanding and kind please. NTA. When will people can go both ways? Learn that a workplace is not your local pub where you can hit on people without the feeling that there will be consequences, as you can put it down to being drunk. You are not being paid to mistreat your colleagues. Get your act together and behave as a professional. NTA. You handled yourself well. You could do what other single ladies in offices filled with guys do. Fake an engagement. Yes, it's not something we should have to do, but honestly it does work most of the time. Buy yourself a pretty ring that looks engagement-ish and wear it on that finger. Sometimes it's easier to cut them off at the pass. There's going to be AHs everywhere. I feel really stupid because it makes me so angry to think anyone would have to fake an engagement, but in recent years I started wearing a wedding band looking ring when I travel so that no one thinks I'm looking for a MA young. So, yeah, I hate the idea, but I guess I do something along the same line. It's horrible that it even is an option, but sometimes it's easier to think outside the box. Plus you can make your fake man extra hunky and perfect. Which kind of terrible for future real guy to live up to those standards. My fake guy knew how to make non-weight gaining cookies and never annoyed me. NTA, but I think in the future you should be more clear cut. I consider this sexual mistreatment. I will contact HR if it continues. That will shut it down. This is a really hard line for women to walk. It's a choice between getting hit on all the time at work or being known as a frigid ISB that nobody wants to work with for fear that the slightest slip up will have the woman marching to HR. I think OP handled it expertly by refusing to carry any water for this guy. Nope. He's got a lot of nerve getting feast off about the truth. I hope you will stand up to this guy, but please remember that if you get into any sort of a battle with him, you must stay prepared for the consequences if you lose. It could happen, and with him being in the superior position job-wise, this could possibly terrible for you. Stay the course, and good luck. NTA. You gave him giant warning flags, he brushed them aside, because he's used to doing whatever he wants. NTA. It's his own fault for wanting to be unfaithful in the first place. NTA at all. Keep a record of dates/time/names he's called you, how it stressed you out and made you feel unsafe, and when HR lady comes back and talks to you, give her that. Keep yourself safe, girl. NTA, you're his subordinate, and even if he wasn't married, it is inappropriate for him to be hitting on you. I'd be documenting everything he says and sending it to HR. NTA. He came on to you, you were actively unreceptive, and told him you don't keep secrets, and he got all annoyed when he couldn't have you as his secret work fling. Screw him. Don't. NTA on so many levels. I hope he gets fired and your workplace seizes the need for you to have to do this stuff by holding these men accountable. NTA. That sort of behavior is inappropriate at the workplace, married or not. Worldwide comments of the day. There was a similar story with the husband having a vasectomy and never telling the wife. Now a story of birth control and not telling the husband. People should learn to communicate better, like in this story about their fears and concerns. The other story, dude, let that go on for 2 years. When my husband and I started dating and got married, I assumed I would want kids, and we even talked about baby names. I even assumed that any doubts I had would go when the time was right. We are together 27 years now, no kids, so I feel sympathy for the wife for changing her mind. But the birth control thing is nuts. NTA. She isn't an AH for second guessing kids or changing her mind, but she's a major AH for not telling him and lying. Kids are a major thing that both parties need to be on the same page about. They need to cut their losses now if neither party can live with changing their time. She lied about wanting kids and lied about the birth control situation. It's just awful. It isn't changing the mind, it's the deceit and lying that's the problem. Okay, I see both sides. She lied and that's unforgivable. But it sounds like she may have the beginnings of tocophobia, the debilitating fear of pregnancy and childbirth, which is a mentally crippling fear. I have it myself. And though I want kids, I do. I'm not sure I will ever get over that. Think of any phobia you have: spiders, heights, drowning, etc. Now what you want is on the exact other side of about 9 months straight of that phobia, and then 12 hours straight of the most intense crippling experience of that phobia that may end in PTSD, and does sometimes, even with people that don't even have that phobia. But the thing is, you still want what's on the other side. But just because you want it doesn't mean you can ever get over that feat and get there. I don't think she was being malicious or meaningfully manipulative. If this was the case, she was putting off something she was trying to build herself up to and never could, and got stuck in that, and may have also been too fearful of being guilted into it to tell her husband. It's absolutely wrong what she did, but from her reaction I'm going to guess it may be at least a little of what I'm saying. I feel bad for both of them, if that's the case. Because they are in a relationship that won't work. They have 2 different futures in mind, and I don't think she will ever come back from this lie in his eyes, and he has no obligation to forgive her or change his life plans for her phobias. She had lied to you, and it's time to move on. She cannot be trusted. I have no idea why he hasn't seen a lawyer. Edit. The saddest part about this is the guy's really concerned that he might be the AH. Really sad. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more interesting and relatable Reddit videos.